Adam Winter is the director of the Four Saucemen. It's a brilliant name, established by four good friends from the eastern suburbs of Auckland. They all shared a common interest in barbecue, and from there the company was born, and they competed in their first competition, Meatstock, back in 2017. Well, Adam Winter, one of those Four Saucemen, joins us now. It's lovely to have you on the show. How are you?
I'm great, mate. Thanks for having me.
No worries. As I said, the name, firstly, the Four Saucemen, that's just, I don't know, that to me was like perfect. If you were coming up with something to describe exactly what you guys do, you nailed it. Who came up with that one? Or is that one of those points of contention where you go, oh no, it was collaborative? How does that work?
To be honest, we were sitting around having a few beers, trying to think of a team name, and we came up with a couple that were absolute shockers. And one of the boys in the team, Brendan, he came up with the name. He's a bit of a wordsmith. He's a bit of a geek, and he came up with the name. So it's on him.
To tell Brendan, the geek, that he did a fine job, because I'm a big fan. So what was the process then from coming up with the concept, I suppose, to actually making this sort of stuff a reality?
After getting some really great results at a couple of barbecue comps, and we are amateur, we're backyard cooks, we're not chefs. We picked up some good results, in our local barbecue store in Auckland here, who was sponsoring the team at the time. They asked, can we buy some of the flavors you guys are using? We couldn't find flavors we really liked. Most of it was coming out of America. We couldn't find anything we liked, so we just decided to make our own. And then the barbecue store said, do you think you could package them and we could try and sell them? And they said, so we made 500 little 100-gram pouches for the Auckland Home Show. And they sold the whole 500 over the weekend. On Monday, they ordered 2,000. And so we had to come up with a bit of a plan, because I had a full-time business at that stage. My wife was working part-time, and all of a sudden we were spending our evenings labeling, packaging, and packing rubs at night till midnight.
Yeah, something's got to give there, right? It's good in the initial stages, but you got to streamline that long term, obviously. And they were rubs initially?
Just the rubs initially, and then we did the rib glaze was our first sauce, which was a sauce we used on our pork ribs at a lot of our comps. And we had a massive order of sauce. We've got a gas stove at home, and we had 4 pots on the gas stove making sauces. And we were pouring the sauce into the bottles hot, and then having to cool them outside to cool them down before we could label them, because the labels wouldn't stick to the hot glass bottles. It was hilarious.
That is absolutely brilliant. So it was real. That's your classic, for lack of a better phrase. That's a number 8 wire mentality, right?
It was actually quite humorous at the time. When you look back at it now, it was hard work, but it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I bet it was. It sounds like it was a lot of fun. So now obviously things are much more streamlined, etc. What's involved now?
We contract manufacture our sauces. We just couldn't do it in house. There's too much machinery involved, and trying to get the capital together to put that to bed. So we contracted out. There's actually a business right behind our warehouse that does all our sauce for us. So we literally drive our forklift down the driveway, pick up our sauce, and pop it in our warehouse, which is fantastic. Great for the greens. And then with our rubs, we contract manufacture the rubs, and then we were packing them in-house up until recently. That's now contracted out. So essentially we've become a distribution business of our own product now.
Yeah, but it's your IP, it's your ideas, and when I look at the range of stuff that you've got, it's really good. So it's the foursaucemen.co.nz is the name of the website, and then I look through, and Libby and I were just having a look before, and I was starting to get a little bit excited with all the different things you've got, even right down to the beef gravies. You've got chicken gravy as well, but you're branching it. So you've got ribs, you've got rubs, you've got gravies, and you've got sauces and stuff as well. So you cover a whole range of stuff now.
Yeah, we do. The barbecue, phenomenon has taken over in New Zealand, especially during COVID. Everyone was cooking at home, and guys love standing around a barbecue. And this American, low and slow style of barbecue has come to New Zealand, and New Zealand's taken their own look at it and run with it. You know, I like the way that we're dynamic when we take on something like this, and we've got some really good backyard cooks in New Zealand.
Yeah, I have noticed the trend, as you say. I mean, a lot of people have. It was one of those things, you know, you get the, you know, the Traeger phenomenon, or whatever you want to call it, that's you know, that's taken a hold. It's quite amazing, really. You know, the one that I was looking at, jalapeno and sweet orange rub, man. I was looking at that one and go, oh, come on, give me some of that.
Oh, I tell you, we mix it with panko crumb. It's fantastic on some fish fillets. It's beautiful on scallops. We use it on beef tacos, chicken tacos. We were about to pull up a recipe. A mate of mine I played golf with the other day said to me, he said, let's do some soft shell crab with jalapeno and orange.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Yep.
Now, when you went to, it was Meat Stock, wasn't it? In, what was the first one? 2017, I think was the first time you guys had a crack.
Yeah. 2017 was the first one. We saw an ad on Facebook saying barbecue competition. Was advertised by an Australian guy, and I thought, look, what's the worst that can happen? I've got me and my three mates who like to barbecue once a week, and we took it on and thought, let's practice for it, and we did. We practiced every weekend. Just turned up and we got second place ribs at our very first comp against some of the best in the industry. We had guys here from Australia who won the category, and we thought, hey, we quite like this. This is good fun. We got very overly excited at our first comp and drank too much. And so you know, standing around a barbecue with a few beers, it was good fun. And then we took it a bit more seriously the following year, and we got a first place in our pork ribs. And it sort of just snowballed from there, really.
Well, congratulations. Well done. You go back, I mean, then there would have been COVID, right? So then that would have been on a hold for a few years, and you're back competing, or do you still do that?
We on and off. Last year we did 3 comps in Australia with a good mate of mine, Jared. He's the judge on Cooks on Fire, and we did the Invitational Australian competition, which we won. So we beat 29 of Australia's best teams.
Yes, come on, Kiwi.
So that was really cool. And so, yeah, we did 3 comps there. This year I went to Melbourne and did a competition over there, and I won first place pork ribs. I wasn't actually over there to compete. I was there as a sponsor, and the boys all encouraged me to compete. So I went to the local Bunnings and bought a few things and competed and won pork ribs. So yeah, I try and keep my hand at where we can. It's just a time thing, I guess, at the moment for us.
Right, well, you're a good person to ask for some tips and stuff then for preparing meat. All right, so what do you do? What's your favorite meat cut? Let's start there.
Beef short rib.
Oh yeah, okay, beef short rib. There's not a lot of argument for me on that one. Right, so tips and tricks that you would recommend when preparing meat.
I think preparing, buy the best meat you can, and get to know your local butcher. That's my number one. Getting to know your butcher has huge advantages. They'll put you onto the right cuts of meat. They'll look after you. If there's something extra special you need, put that request in, and they'll oblige.
Okay. All right. And this is one of those ones, as stuff gets more popular, and you'll have come across this, there are people that will swear that one way to do a certain cut of meat or whatever is the best way, you know, this temperature, this long, etc., do this, do that for half an hour. You know what I'm talking about. Then you get other people going, nah, mate, no, that's all wrong. You got to do it this way, right? So how much variation is there in that sort of thing? And at the end of the day, is it more about your own skill in relation to the piece of meat that you're cooking, as opposed to hard and fast rules? Sure, there's some ground rules, there'll be some base stuff, but then is it like, you know, is that where the artistry comes on top, or is it more rigid than that?
I think the easiest way to explain it at the moment is America is really well known for the low and slow barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Texas style of cooking briskets for 10, 12 hours, etc. New Zealand's taken that formula. We all used to watch the YouTube videos of how they did it, and for us it was okay. Our meat was different, but it was a good place to start. What I like about New Zealand barbecue and the guys and girls that are involved is that we've taken it and now we cook hot and fast. And so our briskets are cooking in 4 hours, 5 hours instead of 10 and 12. We've introduced our own flavor profile to it. We have quite advanced palates, I think, compared to America. I think we're better at it. That's a big call.
Oh, I was going to say, man, big call there.
Yeah, it is a big call, but I think we're actually better with flavor. Our flavors here in New Zealand are fresher. We prefer less sugar in New Zealand than America. I think we prefer a fresher, crisper taste in New Zealand, and I think we do it better.
Well, look at that. It's I like it. I like the confidence. And you've seen examples of it around Australia and New Zealand, I suppose, which would be Australia would be the place that you'd compete the most, pretty much.
It has been for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Australia is probably a few years ahead of us in the competition arena, and that shows that they've got some really good competitive cooks over there. And a few of the boys came over for meat stock in New Zealand earlier this year, and they've got some really sharp cooks.
Yeah, interesting. It's a great community that's sort of developing, isn't it? Really, it seems to be one of those things, as you say, probably out of the popularity from the States and then the COVID situation. It was like the perfect storm. Do you see it tapering off, or do you see it getting bigger? What's the future of, I guess, that whole wider industry, and then more specifically for the Four Saucemen?
I think we want to try and introduce more of these barbecue flavors to more people. And so I think there's a huge amount of growth there. We want people to use our products at home in the kitchen, on the stovetop, in the oven, in the air fryer, on their gas barbecue. We really want to try and introduce flavor to those people, because once they try it and taste it, they love it. And the more and more people that experience it, the better. And I think with the cost of living at the moment, people are cooking at home a lot more. Let's make it better. Let's see if we can make home cooking better.
Why not? Well, it's a great philosophy and a really good sentiment to finish the chat on. It's been great talking to you. It's been very educational and entertaining at the same time. You're clearly having a damn good time doing this sort of stuff. So good on you for finding a way to, I guess, monetize something that you love, which is kind of the aim for most people, isn't it? You've managed to find it, you and your mates there. So congratulations and well done. It's lovely to talk to you.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it very much.